Have you ever wondered why you're trying to use Business Central? You've downloaded Kronos, you have a sample system, but when you go to post something, you get errors saying the posting setup does not exist. It can be really frustrating. It might even happen once you've gone live if your system has not been set up fully. And I'm just going to show you something that you can do. Now, Kronos is supposed to be a sample database. Okay, so it has some sample data in there, it has some transactions in there. However, the setup is not complete. Microsoft say that they do this so that you can learn how to set it up. But it can be frustrating if you don't realize that when you're trying to actually follow an example or trying to just see how the system would work for your business. I'll give you an example. So I'm going to just do a sales invoice. I'm going to do a new sales invoice and I'm going to pick a customer. Let's just pick this one, a datum. Instead of picking an item, we're going to actually pick a GL code. Let's say this customer has some miscellaneous costs that we need to charge them for. So they rent, I don't know, a building or an item from us. So let's just say we want to charge them an arbitrary amount for rent. Now, as soon as I put this in, this system is telling me there's an error. I can't go any further. It says the VAT posting setup does not exist for the combination of that business posting group domestic and that product posting group blank. This is because, although the customer is set up as a domestic customer, the GL code 30110 rent has no VAT set up behind it. So it's not allowing you to post an invoice or a sales document or even a rental document when it doesn't know how to treat the VAT. You might get this error, you might get another one saying the general business posting setup does not exist, and therefore you can't post it, and it's very, very frustrating. So these are a few things that you can do in the system to make sure that these things don't happen. I'm going to refresh this. It's not allowing me to do that line. I'm going to come out of it. Now, there are two ways to fix that. One would be to update the VAT posting setup. And had it been a valid combination of the combination of, let's say, export and zero doesn't exist, then I would say, come and set this up. However, it's saying that there's no combination where export is there and that product posting group is blank, and there shouldn't be, because that would mess up your VAT return. Instead, what you need to do in Business Central is go to your chart of accounts, and I'm going to look for rent. And basically, any VAT, any general ledger account that could be used for VAT, that could be used to sell or to use to purchase, should really, unless it's VAT exempt, so there might be different rules around in your jurisdiction around postage or something like that, then you really need to, in posting, give all of your GL accounts a standard setting. This will prevent something like that happening again. So one of the things you need to do before you start using the system is checking some of the postings set up. And one of them is usually that the GL accounts are not actually set up completely. Each account should have a standard setting on it, just to show that it can be used and VAT can be charged. If it's something where VAT isn't charged, then obviously set it to zero. If it's a customer that doesn't have VAT, it isn't VATable, then their customer account will be set up that way, and the combination of the non-VATable customer account and the standard will still have it as zero, so you don't need to worry about that. But if it's standard cost or standard revenue item, then it should have standard on there, and you want to go through all of the accounts and set that up really to show that they they are done. Now, one way you can do that is to do it in Edit in Excel, or if you have someone who in your company who knows how to bulk update the data through packages, then they can go through and do that. If you don't, the other way is to just go through one by one, update that, and just move on to the next one. And it's part of the setup that needs to be done. One of the other things that gives you lots and lots of errors is really simple to preempt. So if we go to General Posting Setup, you'll see that there's a combination. We have general business posting groups. These are assigned again to customer and to vendor accounts. So whether they're domestic, in this case EU or export, GL accounts tend to be blank, and that's okay. And then you have different product posting groups. So you might have freight, manufacturing, miscellaneous, which would be some of the GL accounts sometimes, raw materials, etc. What you want to make sure is that in this list, for every type of general business posting group you have the combination set up for every type of general product posting group. When you first get this out of the box, a lot of them are missing. So you have, I don't know, how many of these? 2, 4, 6, 7. Then there should be 7 options for each of these. You then want to make sure that they actually have data and accounts in the various fields. This will mean you'll get no errors to say that this combination of product and customer, or product and vendor, or GL account and vendor, or whatever, doesn't exist unless it's been deliberately blocked. So even if something is never going to be used, I will still say set it up and block it, because at least then someone will know the error has occurred because you're not supposed to use it, not because it hasn't been set up. The same goes for other types of posting setup. So any posting setup, we have VAT posting setup, general, inventory. Again, with inventory posting setup, what you'll find is that, as you can see here in Business Central, you have a location and you have a type of inventory posting group for items. The sample data doesn't give you every posting group code per location. It should. So again, part of your setup is to go through and make sure they're all set up before you start posting, and it really will reduce the errors that you get when you're trying to post a document.